Hello, I am Mary Jane Dudas and I am going to present the comparison between old and new process. But before that, let me define what process is. Process is a series of actions, motions, or operations that leads to a result of manufacturing process. In other words, process is a step to achieve a result. So to define what old process and new process is, I made a research. And based on it, from the word old process is the past process use. And the new process is the improvised old process. And it is the better version of old process. So as I say, there is an improvement to the process, and it is the ongoing process of identifying, analyzing, and improving the old process within the organization. To illustrate the old and new process, I have here a picture that I searched. So it is the picture that I searched. And based on the picture, there are two approaches given, which are the tools-based approach and the people-based approach. Tools-based approach simplifies the new process, and the people-based approach simplifies the old process. So, based on the criteria or based on the specific basis, tools-based approach are more focused on learning and applying tools, while the people-based approach, its focus is empowerment of people. While in terms of style, tools-based approach, its style is intervention style, while the people-based approach, its style is culture building style. And in terms of documentation, tools-based approach is elaborate. Its type of documentation is paperwork, while people-based approach is minimal paperwork. And in terms to become a successful, tools-based approach have the high possibility, while the people-based approach only have a low possibility. And in terms of cost, tools-based approach will have a big cost item, while the people-based approach will have a low. And in terms of exclusivity, tools-based approach is non-inclusive and people-based approach is inclusive. And in terms of sustainability, tools-based approach have a little intervention dependent and the people-based approach is more designed for autopilot. And in terms of scratch to stage time, tools-based approach is high and the people-based approach is low. So that is my research about old process and new process. And another, how can Six Sigma affect or how can it use to old process and new processes? Because Six Sigma is a mostly used to improve an existing process. Six Sigma is to define, measure, analyze, improve, and control something. And to illustrate, I have a picture that I researched. So this is an example of old process and new processes. So we can see that in old process it only have 4 steps, and in the new process it have an improved process. So ang makikita nga po natin sa old process is wala pa yung 2 steps na ginamit sa new process. Kasi nga po, para ma-improve ang isang process, binabawasan ng step or dinadagdagan para mas magkaroon ng better version of the rather than or an existing process. So, to illustrate or to give another example, I have here another illustrate or another picture to discuss. So in this illustration or in this picture, the old process have many more steps than the new processes. So meaning ang ginawa po dito is nag-reduce ng step to improve an existing process. So as I said earlier, the steps can be reduced or it can be added to improve an existing process. So in this case, the steps are reduced. That's all. Thank you.